So emotional intelligence through Bhagwad Gita. Let us start. So obviously emotional intelligence, if you want to listen to it, you want to talk about whatever stress we're having right now. So we're talking about stress at the workplace. Most of it is coming from there, and I will assume that most of us are belonging to some other kind of workplace. So that's how we go about it. So the first one, WHO says negativity at the mental and behavioral level leading to psychological problems is the largest and most common global occupation health issue. Second is work-life spillover, and that's again a problem. We all know work and personal life, work-life balance, a lot of things that go in that domain. The job stress is a huge emotional and financial cost to the employee and the organization. Needless to talk about this, urgent need for mature leadership skills. So we're talking about all of this, and we see that there is a lot of stress, there is a lot of uh, inner conflict, outer conflict, which is happening maybe with the colleagues, with the boss, with the subordinate at the workplace, maybe with the family member right here. So all of those things are there. And we see a lot of emotional outbursts, a lot of emotional expressions which were not really intended in the way we talked about something, we reacted in some way. So that kind of causes a concern about where we're going with this, how we deal with this. A lot of people have various ways of doing things, like somebody is going for music, somebody is going for some laughter, some program, somebody is going for meditation. So I'm a meditation coach and also doing my PhD on the topic impact of meditation on emotional intelligence. So that's again my core area. I'm an industrial psychologist also. So a lot of that will come in as we talk. And of course, I'm a spiritual seeker, and I give Bhagavad Gita lectures in a lot of corporates. And it's not the Sanskrit lectures; it's just the basic talk about Gita in terms of in the language in which we talk to our people around us, and of course in the language that is understood, in the jargons, in the language that it's understood by people. So that's what it is about. So we'll go ahead now. So a little bit about emotional intelligence first. So critical thinking, creative thinking, the left brain and the right brain, and the emotions reside in the right brain as we know them. All the beautiful things we do, as we see in the previous picture, somebody is on the right brain meditating, somebody is laying down, is all this is garden, and somebody is flying a kite, somebody is meditating, and we think we have a lot of fun there. Although on the left side, people are sitting in cubicles and working. And that's a critical thinking part, the left brain. But I think if you see, there are two bridges here. Somebody is walking from left to right, somebody is walking from right to left, because these all are complementary to each other. When we talk of emotional intelligence, while emotions reside in the right side of the brain, the left brain takes an important part in this whole equation, and hence the critical thinking part. A lot of times you don't think critically. For example, Monday blues. As a study in New York says, 90% of people have heart attacks on 9 a.m. On Monday mornings in New York. Or maximum heart attacks, let's say, happen at 9 a.m. on Mondays in New York. Now, that's very sad. And the reason that we see further is that they have to go to the workplace. And this is sad, right? A lot of people also missed out, a much bigger number missed out on having a heart attack, thankfully, but they are under stress. So this is sad. This whole thing is sad, and we want to talk about this. You don't want to be in a place where the workplace is hurting me, where I, on a Friday, for example, which is today, I'm excited about the next two chuttis, Saturday, Sunday, or the next maybe Sunday. I'm looking for a weekend since Thursday. Monday, again, I'm having Monday blues. This critical thinking is very important as regards emotional intelligence. And I think something has to be done within me, first of all, and which Bhagavad Gita helps us do. So we have to change this thought process. We have to first think that if we have to earn money, we have to work. But that's not the way it is. It's just that what will you do if you had all the money in the world? You'll still work. Work gives meaning to human life. And therefore, work should not be a reason for any kind of stress, whatever. I've been an employee. I'm a businessman now. I've worked for 23 years. I know both sides. So I know as an employee, and of course I know as a person, as a business professional. I totally believe the kind of excitement that gives you a kick in the morning, something that you have to get up in the morning and like you already have a list ready of what you have to do instead of getting up and saying, "Arey yaar, aaj bhi office jana padega." And that's not what you want to be like. You don't want to go to the office because jana padega. That's a slave talking. You're not a slave. You have to understand you're not a slave. You're a human being. Freedom is my birthright. And this freedom is required. And what is that freedom? Not the freedom to not go to the office. It's like I work in the way I work and I love it. And I really love it. When maximum working hours are spent at work, they have to be good. We don't need anything else on emotional intelligence, honestly. When we understand that we don't want all this when we talk of work, right? So there's a stimulus like a boss talking about something, and there is a response to that, right? Within that stimulus and response is you. Okay. Within that stimulus and response. So there is a stimulus. Boss ने कुछ बोल दिया. There is a stimulus. Boss बोल रहा है आधा घंटा और रुक जाए यार, थोड़ा काम खत्म हो जाएगा. Just half an hour. And it's showing it's a toxic workplace. All this OTT language, I don't know what happens. What toxic yaar? What is so toxic about it? But we talk all this all the time. I really don't like the word toxic. That there's nothing toxic about working a little extra. I know what is toxic. I know what are toxic bosses. But this is just because everybody is talking about it. I don't want, it's a FOMO. I don't want to miss out saying something which is related to toxic. It looks very cool. It's not toxic. Life is not toxic. Relationships are not toxic. And let's see ourselves first. So I'm a guy like that only. I don't want to give you beautiful things and say, you are all right. That guy is wrong. That guy is wrong. I'm saying always, let's check ourselves first. That's how the things will be. You know? That's how the solutions will come out. If you want solutions, if you're really listening to me for solutions, this is the way it is. First, let's do some introspection. Rather than sending these beautiful messages on WhatsApp, let's do some real introspection. Really. And that's how it all begins with you. So somebody said you something, somebody's happened to you, somebody, maybe, for example, on 1st January, which is coming very soon, or already you've done it. We already have a list of next year, chuttiyan kitni hai. And then if there is a 26 January Sunday, you're like, oh my God, chutti gayi. I mean, really? That whole thing has to change. So there is a stimulus, Sunday ko 26 January hai. And there is a response in afterwards. And it's always in that space, as you see here, that space is you. That is where you are. And in that space, you have to do three things: awareness, alertness, and a lot of consciousness. We have to be conscious about our existence. We have to know what I'm doing. I have to be aware of the way I'm thinking. I have to be alert to the thoughts that come in my mind. And that's really important. As Gita is saying in 3.42, before the senses is the body. So there is a body. That's me, the body, and there are senses. Senses के बाद अर्जुन मन है, मन के बाद बुद्धि है, ahankar hai. Now ahankar, like, we think of ahankar in a different way. In those days when ahankar was used, it was just for me. Ahankar means me. How will you say me? You have to say me, right? When you talk about yourself, you say me. मुझे प्यास लगी है, मुझे यहाँ जाना है, मेरा ये है, मेरा वो. तो मैं जो है वो मैं है, उसमें कोई जजमेंट नहीं है, कोई नेगेटिव अहंकार सो कॉल्ड जजमेंट नहीं है. इट्स नॉट रूड, इट्स जस्ट मी, राइट? मेरी पहचान के लिए मैं ये शब्द यूज करता हूं. मैं, वो अहंकार यूज किया जाता था पहले, वो बाद में आगे जाके होल थिंग चेंज्ड. सो सबसे पहले बॉडी है, बॉडी से बाद सेंसेस हैं, देन देयर इज दिस मन, मन के बाद बुद्धि है, एंड बुद्धि के परे अर्जुन तू है. Why? Because you have to understand, all of these awareness, alertness, consciousness. Please understand, I can watch my mind and the brain, as in the buddhi, the ahankar. I can watch it. I can watch my senses. I can watch my body. So I have to be before these things. I have to be before these things to be able to watch these, right? if some of this was before me, I wouldn't have watched it. For example, मेरा मन, बहुत विचार आते हैं, पर मैं मन को देख पाता हूं ऐसा सोचते हुए, ऐसा कॉन्टेम्पलेट इंट्रोस्पेक्ट करते हुए। तो मतलब मैं कौन है, ये मैं जो अनुराग है उससे भी पहले एक वॉचर है, द सीसीटीवी एज आई कॉल इट। देयर इज अ परमानेंट सीसीटीवी एंड सीसीटीवी doesn't judge you. There is a CCTV, it doesn't judge you. It shows exactly what it is looking at. There is no judgment. And that's what Gita is saying in 2.54 and onwards. Sthit pragya. What is sthit pragya? What is anasakt? A CCTV is not attached. Man is attached, maybe buddhi is attached, the ahankar part is attached. Because of some senses, you get some senses. You know, senses is what makes you feel the world. आपने कुछ देखा, आपको लगा हाँ दिस इज ब्यूटीफुल, आपको स्मेल आया, आपको लगा वाह गुलाब जामुन, आपने कान से सुना कुछ फ्राई होता हुआ, लगे वाह समोसे पकड़े। सो यू गेट अटैच्ड to that thing. The senses are just neutral. They're giving you a message going inside your mind, which is creating some kind of an attachment. And then we go on. And you can see all of those things. So when this whole thing started and 2.15, Bhagwan is saying that one who is unattached can see the light. If I can just paraphrase it. Unattached. So Bhagwan ने शुरू किया कि अर्जुन तू कहाँ इन सब चक्कर में पड़ रहा है भाई, तू कहाँ पंडितों जैसी बात कर रहा है और ज्ञान जैसी बात कर रहा है, मूर्खों जैसी बात कर रहा है, ऑल ऑफ दोस थिंग्स। तो ये हुआ, उसके बाद भगवत गीता शुरू हुई एंड 18.72 में, जस्ट 6 श्लोक्स बिफोर गीता एंडेड, भगवान इज सेइंग तो अर्जुन तेरा मोह खत्म हुआ कि नहीं हुआ? एंड 18.73 अर्जुन सेइंग हाँ जी हो गया। बट a question that should come in a thinker's mind is that Ved Vyas is writing a book, or maybe Bhagavan Krishna is giving a lecture. He's trying to summarize now. Chalo yaar, let's summarize. हो गया बहुत, summarize तो करेंगे ना. Good author will always summarize. A good speaker will always summarize. See, summarizing, तेरा मोह खत्म हुआ कि नहीं हुआ? Pause. ध्यान योग, कर्म योग, ज्ञान योग, भक्ति योग, परम गति, विराट रूप, सत्य, ये अपने तीनों त्रिगुण है, प्रारब्ध कर्म, संचित कर्म, etc., etc. So much gyan was given. Boss, why are you just summarizing on moh? Because Bhagavan is saying this moh is the problem. The attachment is the problem. This attachment is the problem. Otherwise, there's no problem. Everything is fine. Everything is there. You need everything. In this world, when you're living, you need all the beautiful comforts. Nobody is telling you. Arjun wanted to go to the jungle. He said, मैं इनको कैसे मारूं? भगवान बोला भैया काम करो अपना, लीव ऑल दिस। कहाँ तेरे दिमाग में पंडितों जैसी बातें आ रही? He didn't allow him to go to the jungle. So nobody is saying Bhagwad Gita is telling us to leave everything, anasakta, sthitpagya, samarpan. That doesn't mean you leave everything and go. You're not supposed to be the monk who sold his Ferrari. But that's a different story, by the way. Bhagavan is not saying that. Bhagavan is not saying wear saffron clothes and go somewhere. Not at all. He's saying live in this world and enjoy this world, but be unattached. Because there is where the concept of sthit pragya comes. The concept of sthit pragya or anasakt comes from there, where God is saying, just don't be attached. You live this life, relationships, money, job, work, whatever it is, you do everything, but be unattached. How to be unattached? Of course, we'll talk about it. We are here to get some solution. We're not here to give some pravachan. So first of all, before we go forward, please understand, Bhagwan Krishna is not Bhagwan in Gita. Otherwise he is. You go to the temple, do all the things that do, Janmashtami, etc. In Gita, if you consider Bhagwan, Krishna as Bhagwan, what will happen? You'll not ask him something. Bhagwan ने बोला है, नास्तिक, आवाज मत करो, जो बोला है, वही एग्जाम में लिख के आओगे. No, Arjun asked so many questions. And if I have to go in details, he was really rude. अरे भगवान दोनों चीज में से एक बोलो ना सीधे सीधे यार. It was almost like that. कर्म करूं कि ज्ञान में जाऊं? Just tell me one thing यार. Don't tell me so many things. What are you saying? 3-4 अध्याय निकल गए, आप एक क्लियर बात नहीं कर रहे हैं. Why are you doing this? Arjun could ask. Why can't I ask? Why can't I ask? I can also ask na. But if I will consider Krishna as Bhagwan, then I'll not ask. भगवान बोल रहे हैं. And then I listen, कर्म कर फल की चिंता मत कर. हाँ भगवान, हाँ भगवान. बाहर निकल के अरे बॉस चिंता कैसे नहीं करें, गोल्स होने चाहिए. Why this hypocrisy? Have to change this. So therefore, Gita mein, Krishna, somebody who knows more than you. Period. Full stop. Krishna is somebody who knows more than you, and you have all the right to ask questions. Don't give him any other sangya. No adjectives. No names. Don't give him anything. He is Krishna. You call him Keshav, you call him Madhav, you call him Chris, you call him anything. He's a guy who knows more than you, and that's it. And you have all the right to ask, नहीं यार ये समझ नहीं आ रहा भगवान, ये तो ठीक नहीं लग रहा, कर्म कैसे करो फल बिना इच्छा के, बिना गोल सेटिंग के लाइफ कैसे चलती है, ऐसे थोड़ी होता है. यू आस्क ना, यू आस्क द पंडित. पंडित तो anyways is a person who would probably breed superstition, but I mean you have to ask yourself. The answers are inside, but there has to be a question. This doesn't seem right. If it doesn't seem right, you have to ask questions. कर्म कर फल की चिंता मत कर. कैसे नहीं? तो what Krishna is saying in this, Krishna is saying बीज एक किसान ने, हमारे जैसे लोग हैं ना 40 पे रिटायर एक्सेट्रा, रिटायर होके चले गए, गांव में कोई जमीन थी, बोले चलो अब खेती करेंगे. वेरी गुड, खेती करो. खेती कर रहे हैं तो बीज मंगा रहे हैं. बीज कहाँ से मंगा रहे हैं? हम तो अमेजोन से कम मंगाएंगे नहीं. हमने अमेजोन से बीज मंगा लिए, यहाँ वहाँ ऑनलाइन ट्रैक्टर ऑर्डर कर दिया, देखा क्या है क्या नहीं, पानी वानी हार्वेस्टिंग, व्हाट यू कॉल दैट, ड्रिप इरिगेशन वगैरह सब बढ़िया वाले सिस्टम लगा दिए. इनको तो आता ही नहीं, कुछ किसानों को. मैं बताता हूँ कैसे होता है. वेरी गुड. आपने सब कर दिया, बीज भी बो दिया सब. नेक्स्ट डे, अरे ये तो निकले नहीं पौधा. तो गांव वाला बोला भैया रुको महाराज, 5-6 दिन लगेंगे, है ना. वी वांट इंस्टेंट ग्रेटिफिकेशन. शहर से आए हम लोग, क्विक क्विक करके. आई बिकम द प्रेसिडेंट इन अ कंपनी, 40 years of एज. ये लेट वाला काम नहीं होता है हमारा. वी डू इट क्विकली. ठीक है भैया, देख लो भैया, आप ज्यादा जानकार हो. बढ़िया. तो महाराज को क्या हुआ? बोला बीज उगे नहीं, उगे नहीं. पानी और डाल दिया, फर्टिलाइजर और डाल दिया, और सब कर दिया. वेरी गुड. नेक्स्ट डे आया, नेक्स्ट डे फिर वही, बीज तो उगा ही नहीं. मैंने अमेजोन को मेल डाल दी, यू सेंट मी फेक सीड्स और व्हाटएवर. थर्ड डे ही ओपनड, मिट्टी में से खोद खोद के देख रहा है, अरे निकला कि नहीं निकला, क्या है ये? तो उसमें जरा सा स्प्राउट हुआ है. अरे यार व्हाट इज द स्पीड, दे नॉट एफिशिएंट. He's telling the bees, you guys are not efficient. 10-12 बीज खोल के देख लिए, बोले सारे ही ऐसे हैं, तो निकले ही हैं. फिर किसान बोला अरे महाराज समय लगता है इसमें. अरे क्या समय लगता है, इतना स्लो है ये, ऐसे तो 1 साल लग जाएगा इसको. किसान, ओके बाबा तू देख ले भाई, शहर वाला जो भी. नाउ हु स्पॉइलिंग द होल केस? द गाय who is done doing all this. The kisan, maybe unpad, knows that he has to wait. He's not attached. He knows the beej will sprout into a crop. Now, when I get attached to some kind of a result, I create negativity around it. When things don't happen my way, and please, things will not always happen according to you. Get even, get fair. Things will not happen as you thought it will. They will. It won't happen like that. It'll take time. Things take time, right? You have to wait. So that attachment to the result doesn't make me wait, and then I spoil the whole thing. And of course, I get emotionally disturbed in a so-called toxic place. Come on. So just wait. Some things won't go your way. Maybe some seeds won't come out also. You have to understand this is the way life is. Things exactly the way you thought they will, because I had attachment to the way I think. So being thoughtful about a way a thing has to be is okay, right? It's very human to think this is my plan and this is the way I intend to do certain things. But being attached causes the whole problem. All this emotional intelligence talk is about that. I should not be attached. Before we go into the Sthit Pragya concept from 2.54 onwards in the second chapter, and further on also many places, we need to understand. कर्म कर फल की चिंता मत कर. एक्चुअली तो और आगे है, कर्म कर फल की इच्छा ही मत कर. तो रोज समझाना मुश्किल है लोगों को, इच्छा ही मत कर. ठीक है, आप चिंता तो मत, चिंता में तो आओ पहले, चिंता मत करो. इच्छा नहीं का ये है, इच्छा मत कर. मतलब यू लिव योर लाइफ द वे यूर लिविंग. तू काम कर, बस मजे कर. एक्सीलेंस के पीछे भागो, कामयाबी झक मार के पीछे आएगी. 21st century वर्जन ऑफ 2.47. फोकस ऑन एक्सीलेंस यार, कामयाबी तो झक मार के पीछे आएगी. And again, no attachment to कामयाबी. कामयाबी आ जाएगी, ठीक है, नहीं आएगी देखेंगे, we'll work on it. But I'm not attached. That's what emotional intelligence is all about. We'll go further now. So this is gestalt. Now, if you can see here, there is a face and there is a lady within the face. So what is this? Is a gestalt philosophy in psychology, which says that we humans have there were dots in a round circle. The dots, that's it. A group of dots arranged in a circle. They are not a tendency to see a group of dots arranged in a circle. We say, okay, this is a circle. So we have this tendency to come out with a shape in a cloud. Oh, this looks like a dragon. This looks like a horse. But it doesn't, right? It is to create shapes or concepts, theories out of abstract things. And that is just a picture, right? But so that is just to be that concept. So we create a concept where we say this is the way things should be, to be this way, that way. And there is where you can't do anything about that. You have to work on the attachment. Making absolutely okay as a human being, we just need and surprise / excitement. So these are the 6 basic limbic system. As we see here is amygdala. Amygdala is a place, an almond shape. The whole spinal cord is also a part of that. Emotions, flight or fight response, feelings, we're not going to there. And I can just tell you, exercise your back emotions also reside in terms of what happened. What happened? He said, मेरे पितामह हैं, मेरे chapter ये तो दुर्योधन के बच्चे हैं, इन्होंने क्या बिगाड़ा है? That's why he said, why are you talking like a pandit? He was all giving ज्ञान, सब लोग मरते हैं, विधवा हो जाएंगी, अर्जुन sulking. And that's why people say, गीता आपने को दूसरी second अध्याय से पढ़नी चाहिए. And that's why they miss out parenting. And therefore, Gita. If I don't relate to the mind heart, which is cognitive dissonance, I will not be able to take a call. I'll not be able to go ahead. So cognitive dissonance में क्या होता है? माथे पे पसीना आता है. So neurosis में क्या होता है? माथे पे पसीना आता है, बॉडी कांपती है, कम से माथे पे पसीना आ रहा है, बैठ गया. I have to find out where does it happen. This is fearful. If this is something which is asking a lot from me and I'm not able to, because Arjun knew there is one Bhisham Pitama which is to him. And वो भाई साहब इच्छा मृत्यु लेके बैठे. Dronacharya is my guru. He knows my guys. I'll not be able to win. It was just a thought that came in his mind. In that the war, he knew everybody has to care of the team. He has to perform. Otherwise, they lose. If they lose now, Arjun questionable authority to take all kind of decisions. Already वो जिंदगी खराब कर चुका है. अब तो पता नहीं. That was something which came in his mind, and in that moment, he just got overwhelmed by these. In this particular thing. Otherwise, story behind it, Dhritarashtra ने एक दिन पहले क्या किया वगैरह, will not go, but which led to this particular movement. Smart guy Dhritarashtra. He did something. We'll not go into detail. But arrogance, why he said बीच में लेके लड़ने आया? Who says that यार? War है. This is serious. This is arrogance. Arrogance. बोला ये तो बहुत बड़ी है. फिर नगाड़े बज रहे हैं, शंख बज रहे हैं, and all these stalwarts are standing. पीछे करण तो है ही. Got captured. So then Bhagwan ka Gita ka sub lecture chala. And so there is where emotional intelligence comes. Remember, so this is one of my TEDx talk. Remember, the reason for unhappiness, expect ही कैसे करते हैं कि दुख ना हो, मेरे हिसाब से चले सब, मैंने इतना प्लान किया, मैंने काम किया, मेरे में इतनी स्किल्स हैं, मैंने, right? I mean, you have to accept it. फिर आने नहीं होता तो है गलत. Is the desire कि मेरे जीवन में दुख ना हो. दुख का कारण क्या है? एक इच्छा कि मेरे जीवन में दुख ना हो. About this, you have to really think. So emotional intelligence is all about these 5 parameters: as awareness, managing emotions, motive, response के बीच में आप हैं. There is where self-awareness is. Now let's go to Bhagwad. Bhagwad Gita is saying in 2.15 I said of life to achieve liberation. A free क्या है? मुक्त. Kind of desires. You are mukta. Moksha doesn't come after you die or something of that sort. No, it happens now. It happens right now. I am not attached to it and say, मैं किसी को नहीं जानता, मेरे को ना किसी से कुछ लेना है, ना दे जाना है. I'm totally alone. 15 seconds. I have nothing to achieve. 2.62 and 63. What is that saying? When attachment is there, things not going on our way, and that when there is attachment, anger comes up, and after anger, and everything happens. All the kind of wrong things. 5.4. So listen, second adhyay related to Arjun inside you. Second is an attachment. 2.55, 2.56. and all of this now till 2.72, where the second adhyay ends. Israk is that guy who in your own way, and you'll find it. The solution is there, 2.62, because when you are attached, there is anger. Not easy, not easy, because what Gita is then saying is, hey, I wanted you. All this nature, angry man, shant person, all of this is not your fault. You are created some gene, some conditioning, something coming from your parents. You are like that because, or maybe the way you lived in a particular place. And of course, that is a part of childhood conditioning. So all of that is you. It is not your fault to be in a particular way. You. That's how I wanted you to be. You are driven by Prakriti. By Prakriti, just give me a second, I'll give you the shlok number. They should always be there. Otherwise, we start believing isko kuch bhi bol raha hai. Second, I'll give you the shlok number. Almost everything is there. So, Prakriti 3.33, 3.35, and there are some of them. All this is coming from. Where is Prakriti coming from? It's decided by your Prakriti. You bear the fruits of your actions that you do as your swabhav, which we need to understand, right? Gita is, ऐसी तो गीता नहीं आ गई. Why we have all the beautiful motivational section at Crossword or any other book shop? Why is Bhagwad Gita? Because nobody understands Bhagwad Gita. People think is religious. And can we, with all my very much due respect for Sanskrit, can we keep Sanskrit out of Bhagwad Gita? Can we keep our Hindi English, the typical one, Desi? Can we talk of Gita like that? So what is this Trigun? सतोगुण, रजोगुण, तमोगुण. भगवान इज सेइंग ये तीनों गुण जो है तुम्हारी प्रकृति का पार्ट है और मैंने इनको तुम्हें दिए हैं एज पर द बैलेंस हैज बीन क्रिएटेड बाय मी, बट दैट यू आर मोर सतोगुणी और मे बी यू आर मोर तमोगुणी और रजोगुणी. दे आर गिवन टू मी एज पार्ट ऑफ योर चाइल्डहुड कंडीशनिंग एंड जेनेटिक्स. I have given that. How I have given that? What is my logic? It's not arbitrary. It's basically all the sanchit karma, which is पिछले जन्मों के बहुत सारे कर्म, which are good and bad. कर्मों का नाम सोचते हम सोचते हैं हमारे बुरे कर्म. अरे क्यों भाई, अच्छा भी तो हो रहा है तुम्हारे साथ. पूरा बॉडी ठीक है, वो अच्छा नहीं है क्या? वो भी तो कोई कर्म ही होगा. उनको बेचारों को पूछो जिनकी बॉडी में कहीं प्रॉब्लम होती है. फर्स्ट तो पहले तो उसी को कंसिडर करो. दो आंखों से देख रहे हो, वही बड़ी बात है. गारंटी है क्या घर पहुंचे से पहले मेरी आंखें ठीक रहेंगी? कुछ भी हो सकता है, कभी भी हो सकता है, राइट? सो एनीवेज, बट संचित कर्म इज अ मिक्स ऑफ प्लस एंड माइनस, विच प्रारब्ध कर्म, हम ऊपर से नीचे आते हैं तो भगवान एक प्रिंट आउट देता है, ले भैया तेरा प्रारब्ध है, इसको खत्म करके आ, और भी जन्म और भी कर्म क्रिएट करो, पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव, तो संचित वाले अकाउंट में जाएंगे. नेक्स्ट जन्म जन्म जन्म. तो वो जो संचित कर्म के हिसाब से आपके जो कर्म इकट्ठे हुए हैं, वो कर्मों में से कोई ना कोई कर्म को फैसिलिटेट करने के लिए दीज गुण, you are made like that so that you act in the way things have to be. You cannot be arbitrary. Boss, please. Hundreds of crores of human beings, they cannot be arbitrary. It is not possible. हर कोई अपने हिसाब से चल रहा है. हमें लगता है पर ऐसा नहीं होता है. It cannot be like that. हर कोई अपने हिसाब से कैसे चलेगा? सब किसी के पास इतनी अथॉरिटी और वो कैसे आ जाएगा पावर ऑफ अटर्नी कि मैं ही कॉल ले रहा हूं अपने? In the world which is all correlated end of the day, it is a web of life. The whole web is connected at all points. How can you think I am living alone and I am doing things? I have done this, I have done that. Can we come out of that I? Because that I is the attachment we're talking about. That I is the reason for emotional unintelligence. And what Gita, Bhagavan is saying, what Krishna is saying in 9.22, the LIC punchline, Yog Akshayam Vyaham Meham. What is that? He's saying, give me the power of attorney, boss. I mean, वो मेरे पास ही है वैसे भी, डिसीजन तो मेरे ही है, पर यू आर अननेसेसरी टेकिंग लोड. तेरे को गाड़ी चलानी आती नहीं पर ड्राइविंग सीट पे बैठा है, तो कैन यू सिट ऑन द लेफ्ट साइड? एनीवेज आई एम ड्राइविंग. लीव दिस मिथ्या. You live your life the way you want to live, you live, but accept the way things are. Right? He's saying, power of attorney, give it to me. As in, you surrender to me. Surrender, Samarpan is the central message of Bhagavad Gita. He's saying, surrender to me. Because when you surrender, you accept all the goods and bads. Because anyways, you're not accepting goods. Anyways, we are having a list of lot of bads happening in our life. And that is unintelligence, emotional. And there is where the problem is. You have to accept when you start counting the positives and you start being thankful, the gratitude workshops is happening everywhere today. Do that, attend that workshop. There's so many good things that are happening around you. Maybe somebody needs to make you realize that. Actually, you will only feel those gratitude workshop pointers. You will also do that, or nobody else will do that. But at least you should do that, right? And now I'll come to a very important message. 18.63 to 66. People say 18.66 पे गीता खत्म हो जानी चाहिए थी. In a way, अब आगे तो summary formality था. Understand what 18.63 is saying. भगवान is saying, चलो भैया, MBA की क्लास नहीं है, लड़ाई सामने खड़े हैं सब लोग, हो गया बहुत, 18 अध्याय, लेट्स फिनिश. 18.78 गीता एंडेड, 18.63 भगवान बोल रहे चलो भैया खत्म करते हैं अभी. तो तेरे को अभी तू डिसाइड कर. एज अ स्मार्ट गाय ही सेड, नाउ यू डिसाइड. I am out of it. I've given you all the possible gyan. I've shown you the Virat Roop also. Everything is done from me, right? Now you decide what you have to do. Learn, nahi learn. Your call. I'm not saying my call. It's your call. अर्जुन खड़ा ही नहीं हुआ, ढीठ या जो भी बोले, खड़ा ही नहीं हुआ. ऐसे क्या होता है यार? इतना सारा ज्ञान भगवान के खुद के मुंह से तुमको मिल गया, एंड यू नॉट इवन स्टैंडिंग, इज नॉट इवन रिएक्टिंग एट ऑल. भगवान बोल रहे हैं भैया आप देख ले, तेरे को समझ में आ गया, अब तो डिसाइड कर क्या करना है. 18.63 इज नॉट स्टैंडिंग. 6465 भगवान इज स्टिल सेइंग. वो तो एम्बैरेसमेंट, अपने ऐसे को ले तो एम्बैरेसमेंट हो जाए. नहीं यार, तो खड़ा नहीं हो रहा है, कैसा आदमी है यार, अपने तो उठ के चले जाए वहां से. But he being Krishna, he stood there, he said a couple of more things to convince him. 18.66, Bhagavan says, I give you my personal confirmation that no path will be accumulated to you. You just go and fight, please. यार ऐसा आरबीआई का बॉन्ड तो हमें कोई नहीं देता, सेफ्टी वाला है. भगवान को तो, अर्जुन ने तो भगवान के मुंह से सुन लिया, मैं तेरे को गारंटी देता हूं तेरे को कुछ नहीं होगा. ऐसा गारंटी तो हमें नहीं मिलता. पर ये सब छोड़ के हम ये देखें, वेद व्यास, द रिस्पेक्ट आई हैव फॉर दैट ऋषि मुनि, दैट whoever we say, is that he was so honest in this whole thing that he said this, that देखो भैया ये सब ज्ञान व्यान सब ठीक है, अल्टीमेटली जब तक मेंटली एंड फिजिकली अप्लाई नहीं करोगे. तो अर्जुन जैसा आदमी भी खड़ा नहीं हुआ है भगवान के मुंह से सुन के, और भगवान को गारंटी देनी पड़ी कि चल भैया उठ, चल लेट्स स्टैंड अप एंड सेट जस्ट फाइट. एंड उसके 6 श्लोक के बाद भगवान ने बोला तेरा मोह खत्म हुआ कि नहीं, देन वी टॉक्ड अबाउट एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. सो भगवान के बोलने के बाद भी खड़ा नहीं हुआ. तो भगवान इज सेइंग, कृष्ण इज सेइंग, वेद व्यास जी इज सेइंग दैट बॉस, डोंट एक्सपेक्ट कि एक गीता का लेक्चर सुनने के बाद तुम ठीक हो जाओगे, एकदम जिंदगी चेंज हो जाएगी, ट्यूबलाइट्स ऑन हो जाएंगी. ऐसा नहीं होगा. You'll have to work on certain things. You'll have to work in certain ways. You have to work on it. And that's why I'm saying, चेंज तो मुझे मेरे में ही लाना पड़ेगा, दूसरों को चेंज वैसे भी नहीं कर सकते, करना भी नहीं है, मुझे को चेंज करना है. तो फर्स्ट थिंग दैट गीता इज सेइंग, गीता जो समरी है वो है मोह, अटैचमेंट. लेट्स रिमूव दैट अटैचमेंट फ्रॉम एवरीथिंग. व्हाइल वी लव एवरीथिंग, I want to have all the money in the world, I want to have the best of relationships, everything, can I be unattached to whatever I have? Can I accept the moment right now, power of now? carpe diem के लोग टैटू बना के रखते हैं, अरे क्या मतलब है उसका, है? What is the point? Power of now, बड़ी Eckhart Tolle, wonderful author, please read Power of Now. But the point is, that is also what he's saying, surrender. I have a book which is called Life is a Fully Paid Holiday. Life is a Fully Paid Holiday, which is a modern version of Bhagwad Gita. It's an e-book. In the same way I've been talking, it's in the same way the book is written, same Indian Desi English. It's saying life is a fully paid holiday. You've come here on a holiday which is fully paid. Anyways, you didn't bring your own currency na with you. फ्री है सब कुछ. यू लिव योर लाइफ, यू जस्ट लिव योर लाइफ. लेकिन हॉलीडे का डेफिनेशन हमको लगता है सुंदर. कहाँ सुंदर? घर में तो भी माँ मियाँ बीवी के झगड़े हो जाते हैं हॉलीडे पे. क्या मतलब है? कौन सा कोई बहुत अच्छा लगता है? हॉलीडे से आके उल्टे स्ट्रेस ज्यादा होते हैं. So you're not going into that holiday. I'm saying it is a fully paid holiday where the air was given to you in free, where the water is given to you in free, where the body is given to you, the eyes and all the senses are working fine. They're given to you in free. The people you meet, the good ones particularly, are given to you for free. The so-called bad ones are giving a lot of depth to your soul. Osho is saying happiness is shallow. डेप्थ कम्स फ्रॉम गहराई. गहराई में जब हम डूबने लगते हैं ना, तब पूछते हैं भगवान ये क्यों हो रहा है, ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है, भगवान तू कहाँ है, ये क्या है, जीवन के तरीके क्या है, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा, ऑल द थिंग्स आर देयर, राइट. अदरवाइज हम नहीं पूछते. अच्छे में कौन पूछता है, अच्छे में तो मजा आ रहा है बस. प्रॉब्लम आती है व्हेन आई एम सैड, व्हेन आई एम अनहैप्पी, देन आई आस्क क्वेश्चन, भगवान मेरे साथ ही क्यों हो रहा है, हाँ तुम ऊपर से आया अलग से, तुम्हारे साथ ही क्यों हो रहा है, सबके साथ हो रहा है. लुक एट अदर पीपल एंड यू आर स्टिल सो बेटर, still so fine, right? So, couple of things I guess has been done. So what Isha Upanishad and other Upanishads also, Mandukya, etc., all of them are saying, Bhagwad Gita is also saying, Shastras are saying, पानी की बूंद, पानी की बूंद ली और समंदर में डाल दी, पानी की बूंद ली और समंदर में डाल दी, तो वो पानी की बूंद क्या हो गई, समंदर हो गई. वो पानी की बूंद समंदर हो गई ना. पानी की बूंद इन वाटर थोड़ी रही वो, अब वो समंदर हो गई. मन क्या बोलता है, वाह उसके पास पावर आ गया. अरे पावर का क्वेश्चन ही नहीं है, पावर इज रिलेटिव. एक ही समंदर है, उसको किससे compete करना है जो है, पावर है नहीं है, वट एवर इट इज, अपनी लिमिट तो वो भी क्रॉस नहीं कर सकता, वो स्ट्रेस नहीं लेता उसका. तेल की एक बूंद डालोगे तो वो डूब नहीं पाएगी इतने अथाह समंदर में. एक तेल की छोटी सी बूंद को समंदर डुबो नहीं सकता. लेट्स नॉट गो इनटू द पावर पार्ट, लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड. अब ये पानी की बूंद अंदर गई और ये सोच रही है, ओ माय गॉड इतना बड़ा समुंदर, मेरा क्या होगा, मैं डूब जाऊंगी, इतनी सारी बूंदे हैं, मेरा क्या होगा. That is the whole problem. No attachment, the wrong identity. Thinking I am the boond. I should think I am the samandar. There's nothing to do and nothing to fear about other boons. इनसे compete करना है, ज्यादा पैसा कमाना है, ज्यादा अच्छा लगना है. Why do you want to compete here? There's no competition. There is no competition. Competition का जगह ही नहीं है. Why are you getting into all that? Right? So that now how do we get rid of attachment? So as I said, my PhD is going on the topic impact of meditation on emotional intelligence. So this is meditation, right? Meditation, mindfulness, consciousness, awareness. We talked about this. The stimulus between the space between a stimulus and a response. They will always be stimuluses around me. Can I call this guy? Battery. वो battery जा रही है. If you can put the charger. So while I hope the battery thing is okay. So meditation is something which helps you to get out of negativity. Meditation helps you that space, no, that space between the stimulus and response. As long as I have senses, I will have stimuli around me. As long as I'm living in this world, I will have people around me who will instigate me into things that I don't want to be like. I'll always be like that. There'll always be people around me who'll be just telling me, ऐसा कर वैसा कर, ये ठीक नहीं है. I'll be having complaints with people. All the negativity will be there. So that space where I become a CCTV. I do watch CCTV meditation on Anurag Mehta on YouTube, right? CCTV meditation on Anurag Mehta on YouTube, right? That is one place where I have a CCTV meditation video. Just have a look. Maybe anuragmehta.com. There are some some blogs if you love to read. A lot of blogs on this particular and such organizational behavior topics. A lot of stuff is there, right? So, anyways, so that is one. So, how do you remain in that space? Meditation helps. As my research is going, I did a research with 500 people and we did meditation for 20 minutes for 7 days in corporates, only the working professionals, employees, particularly 500 employees of various corporates, mostly in Ahmedabad. What we found, 7 days of meditation. There was a pre-meditation test and a pre-emotional test and a post-emotional intelligence test. And we compared the scores. The same test, pre and post. And what we found after 7 days of meditation, पहले एक फॉर्म भरा, उसके अंदर कुछ रिजल्ट आया, मार्क्स आए, बाद में भरा एक मार्क्स आए. What we found was there was a 7.54% increase in emotional intelligence in only 1 week of meditation. I did it for one day also. I've got research papers on the internet on that. What they are saying, one day meditation that brought up 5.11% increase in emotional intelligence. One day, as in 20 minutes, one session of meditation, 20 minutes, and brought up emotional intelligence by 5.11%. One session only. 7 days of session. Of course, the economies of scale, therefore, the results won't be that high, but 7.54%, 7.5% increase in emotional intelligence. And that's the power of meditation. And we'll talk about meditation a little bit. Gita 6 chapters all about Dhyan Yoga. We'll talk about that. What happened? Give me a second. Just give me a second. I guess something moved. Cursor is not working. The cursor is not moving. Give me a second again. Where is the point? Here it is. Where? Oh, it is. But it should move here, right? It's not moving here. No, it is the one on which Zoom is connected. So I don't know. Anyways, would have wanted to show, but that's okay. But both keyboards I'm using. It is not working, Shivam. So nothing working out. Anyways, so what I was trying to say was there was a research thing, a thing that I've made. I wanted to show that, but that's okay. That's not very important. The thing is, what Bhagwad Gita is saying. Bhagwad Gita is saying Samarpan. Bhagwad Gita is saying Samarpan, how? Through full detachment. Detachment to you. So Bhagwan is saying in the beginning, तू पंडितों जैसी बात कर रहा है, etc. He's saying you're thinking from a wrong vantage point, Arjun. You are not Arjun. Nanan Chintanti Shastrani 2.23. What does that mean? ये आत्मा को अग्नि नहीं जला सकती, जल नहीं भिगो सकता, all that हवा नहीं उड़ा सकती, etc. etc. शस्त्र नहीं काट सकते, right? All of that. So 2.23, 2.24, etc. What Bhagavan is saying, बॉस ये आत्मा अभी मेरे को प्रॉब्लम हो रही है यार, मेरा ईएमआई क्लियर नहीं हो रहा, मेरी हेल्थ का इशू हो गया है, तुम कहाँ, ये आत्मा, अंडरस्टैंड द पॉइंट हियर, अंडरस्टैंड द रेलेवेंस हियर. What Bhagavan is saying, the wrong identity, therefore attachment to the wrong place in the wrong way. What Bhagavan is saying is that you are not this body. Because this body can change, ना. आज मेरा हाथ पैर कट जाएगा तो मैं ही रहूंगा, लेकिन है ना, आज मुझे कुछ हो गया तो तो भी मैं ही रहूंगा. मुझे प्यास लगेगी, मुझे खाना खाना है, मुझे यहाँ जाना है, मेरे विचार तो वैसे ही रहेंगे ना. मैं तो रहूंगा इन स्पाइट ऑफ माई बॉडी बीइंग हार्व्ड ऑल्सो. जब तक मैं जिंदा हूं मैं तो मैं ही हूं ना, अनुराग. इफ आई लूज माई मेमोरी, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई लूज मी, अनुराग, साइकोलॉजिस्ट, दिस दैट एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा, बट एक एक सिस्टम तो ऑन रहेगा ना, उसका नाम कुछ और हो जाएगा. मे बी मैं कौन हूँ, कहाँ हूँ, यू फॉरगॉट एवरीथिंग, बट मैं तो रहूंगा. देयर विल बी समथिंग इनसाइड मी विच विल रिमेन. सो दैट मी, बॉडी, सेंसेस, मन, बुद्धि, मैं, वो मैं जो है, इन स्पाइट ऑफ ऑल ऑफ दैट दैट गोज इनसाइड मी, मैं तो रहूंगा ना. उस मैं को कुछ नहीं कर सकते. अभी मैं अर्थ को एक में कहीं नीचे दब गया, 7 दिन के बाद निकला, वो मेमोरी है, पर मैं तो हूं ना. मैं शरीर, चलो शरीर आधा कट गया मेरा, पर मैं तो रहा ना. तो मुझे कुछ नहीं हो सकता. व्हाट भगवान इज सेइंग, बॉस, बिकम फियरलेस. स्वामी विवेकानंद सेज जीवन में अगर पाप है तो एक ही पाप है, वो है डर, भय, फियर. भय क्यों है? बिकॉज मैं अपने आप को अटैच कर रहा हूं बॉडी से. मैं अपने आप को समझ रहा हूं अनुराग. अनुराग तो नश्वर है, अनुराग को तो कुछ भी हो सकता है, इसलिए डर है. When अनुराग realizes अनुराग or no अनुराग, there is something which is a watcher, there is something which is a consciousness, a mindfulness, awareness, alertness, something which is beyond all of this. Then yeah, right. फिर मुझे तो कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता. I can challenge and tell anybody, मारना है मारो, जो करना है करो, तुम मुझे कुछ नहीं कर सकते. लोगों को समझ नहीं आएगा. तुझे? अच्छा मैं बताता हूँ. नो, यू डोंट अंडरस्टैंड. ये शरीर वेरी जो करना है करो बॉस. जब तक मैं जिंदा हूं, मैं तो हूं, उसको कोई नहीं मार सकता. दैट इज व्हाट कृष्ण इज सेइंग. बस यू आर ऑपरेटिंग फ्रॉम अ रॉन्ग vantage point. You are operating from a wrong place. You are not that which you think you are. So that is what is emotional intelligence. When you come out of the real, the wrong identity and enter the real, become the ocean inside of the drop, the tiny drop, you're emotionally free. You're free. That's moksha. That's moksha. So for the time we have, I think we'll try to end this now.